right. We got two old farts here today. We're what do they call our generation? Baby, the boomers. We don't know shit.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I'm
and,
tail end of boomers.
yeah. So, you're what?
I'm a tail end of the boomers.
What year were you born?
64.
Oh, that's not even a boomer.
Well, anybody else would say I'm a boomer. The boomers
Really?
go, you're not a boomer. I'm like, actually, I'm a tail end. I'm at the very end of boomers. After that, it was.
World War II babies. They're the ones.
I agree.
That's it. World War II. If you were born between 1945 and maybe 54, 55,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
about it.
I call those boomers.
The rest of them, I don't know what they are. But at any rate, you know what? I don't believe in that stuff anyway. I really don't. I'm kind of a man of all ages, and we always treat other generations unkindly, and
We
that's
give them labels.
not right.
We
Give them
label
labels.
everything.
So at any rate, yeah, we just thought I'd do a little show here. I'm getting ready to do a little trip to Dubai next week with Tone Vase, and looking forward to that. Not looking forward really to the traveling and getting the nose test and all that crap, but I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to come back to Mexico and just keep hunkering. There's just so much more freedom here, and it's inexpensive to live. And I don't know. Like I say, I'm different, and it's everybody to his own thing. But I just, I go to California, and I'm not a Californian. I know that. California.
Yeah.
So I've got to go up there tomorrow too. So.
California for half my life. A little bit more than half my life. Lived in California.
So, at any rate, I got, I had a little 0.2 Bitcoin and ran it up to about 0.8 and blew myself out, and you're sitting there last night. I was thinking about dumping and totally reversing because this thing could break one more time. And it did. I got stopped out, but it's frustrating. The hardest thing about trading is building a position, particularly if you're a position trader, which I am. Now, I wish I was a swing trader sometimes because there's gold. You could do really well in gold if you were a swing trader. But anyway, I wanted to outline it because really nothing's changed except I got blown out of the water again. And I really wanted to put on a big position. I'm just so gold. But again, we took out that 2-week high, and I thought we had a good chance of breaking out because it was month end. Of course, we didn't. We did the opposite. But nothing's really happened. Now all you've done is you've got this little red candle on the weekly. You took out the 2-week high, so now you take out that. Let's see, are you having it on the weekly now? Yeah,
That's a weekly. Yeah.
So you have that. Take out that low this week. Want to Can you put the cursor on that red candle or not? See what that price is. It's hard. I know that cursor's hard to handle.
Let's see if it actually shows.
There
we go.
Okay, so what's it showing? 1772. Yeah. Is that it?
Yep.
Yeah, I think you had it on 1772, and then the 2-week low. That's not too far down there. Boom, boom. Go. That's for the green candle next to the red candle.
Mm-hmm. This one here.
Yeah. So there it is, guys. You buy it under 1772, and if you buy it there and you put on half your position, you double down if it tests that 2-week low down there. It's 1762. I'm frustrated because I was kind of up last night, and the thing rallied up to. I said, this thing's not looking good. I was really tempted I was long 17 contracts. I was tempted just to when it rallied up to like 98, I was tempted just to sell. Yeah, you can actually reverse on
you can flip.
You can flip
on
completely
Evolve.
Right, and they get pretty decent fills. I mean, I'm not complaining at all, but I could have done it and put a stop at 18 or 1801 because that and never had any adversity, and the thing broke. It broke harder than I even thought, but I got. They probably saw my position where everybody else was doing the same thing. I mean, I'm a position trader, guys. You saw how I built a very large position with a very small amount of money. It didn't work. That's the way it goes. And but when it does, it really works. And so you have to determine what kind of trader you are, and then be consistent. And then the hardest thing to do is get over it. Yeah, and move on. So, uh, and again, like I said, I'm kind of changing my structure because of things that are going on. I'm going to get back in. It looks. I hope to get into arbitrage business. Won't be in a big way, but in a small way, just because I can do it. I'm not doing the exchanges, but I'll be doing it. Because I'm at the border and get good exchange rates and can arb between the markets. I haven't even bought Bitcoin since 2016. So in my hodl, I've got all this other stuff, but my hodl isn't as big as it used to be. So I want to start rebuilding that, and that's what I'll be doing. And I'm very confident in my trading skills over the long run. And now there may be a day when that will be diminished, and I hope I can recognize it, or that the goat lady does. So. But that's why you use money management. You just don't put a lot on the line at any given time. So, and then you were talking about who were you listening to the other day? It was Plan B. It was interviewed by Preston Fish, right?
Exactly, yeah. And he was talking
I
about
like Preston Fish.
He's got some really good, level-headed, very good interviews. And he's not he remains to the point. He doesn't get off the beaten track.
And he was the one that recognizes it, and I agree with him, that the biggest risk right now is it's not the exchange risk anymore. We took care of that one. I mean, they will occasionally happen, but the biggest risk right now is we're putting all this Bitcoin into the legacy markets. And you know what? We're giving up that monetary sovereignty that we have. Every Bitcoin that is not under your control, the authorities essentially have control of it. And if you don't think that, there's some powerful people working in concert, then you are living, you've got your head in the sand, because that's what's going on. And so I think we're going to have to take, a lot of, it's going to take a lot of ingenuity. And I think I like what Jack Mallers doing. I hate those legal tender, but I do like his approach, to reach out. I think that, and I think what needs to be done, and this, the book, what do you think of that? I finally finished it.
The book reads well. It does.
Okay.
It reads really well.
And I put quite a bit more research into it. I went into private money a little bit into my history. And the hardest part was what I just finished today, and that's the introduction. Because it's not easy talking about my past, but I published it. There it is. It's going to be the warts and all for everybody to see. And so you're going to just see Bitcoin from a different point of view, from a viewpoint. I was one of the fortunate few that when I saw Bitcoin, I immediately grasped it. It took me a few hours to even believe such a thing was possible. But then once I grasped it, and I've had all kinds of, misdirection thinking since then. You're just not normal if you don't go through your shitcoin phase. Right. So, which I went through, and
it was all about Quark. I had Quark.
You had Quark?
It was all about Quark in the beginning.
Oh, really? What? Yeah. Tell me about that one.
Well, I mined some on my old laptop, and I mined some Doge on the old laptop as well. I think I got a few. I mined Litecoin first, but Litecoin was already too difficult. I think I got a tiny fraction of some Litecoin, but then I mined Quark, and I thought, well, Quark's the next Bitcoin. It was
right,
and it didn't last but a few months, really.
Is it still trading?
No,
it's not even around.
No, it's not
I
around.
remember that.
Yeah, it died.
I would gotten one. It was just a couple of guys. I think they had a bar up in New England or in England somewhere. I was in that Feathercoin. I remember.
Oh yeah, sure.
And And I did
Oh,
still,
Ellis.
and then I wound
Yeah.
up having that counterparty. I got a little bit of it sold, but
Mm-hmm.
not as much as I'd hoped to. So I'm still kind of stuck in my counterparty. It just, it was delisted, so I couldn't do anything. Now it's listed again. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully, uh, actually, it was worth almost a Bitcoin. It was worth over a Bitcoin for a while. I did get about a quarter of a Bitcoin out of it, but hopefully, I'll be able to get some more. And then I've got the,
Was it about
I've
20,
it's
22?
20. It was 23. It dropped down to 19. But Bitcoin's going up, so
Right.
in terms of Bitcoin, it's going down. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's the problem. And so, I should have, but it's a very, very thin market and tough to do anything. And the even more thin one is that the other one I had was
Pepe Cash.
yeah,
Yeah.
Pepe
Yeah.
Cash. So, at any
I
rate.
think it's worth a third of a penny a piece.
And then the only other thing I have, which I don't really consider a shitcoin, is the NX token because I do consider that a security. I do think that the Cybert brothers are probably building a very good platform. I watched some of their videos, but they definitely have a different uh, model and goal than I have. I mean, I will be using them because I think they're going to be a very viable exchange, and you have to some degree trade on the legacy system. But their whole game is basically, I need to find that video because I thought it outlined their view very, but it starts out, that first of all it's rejected, and then it gives a little bit, and then what we do is but they're basically shooting for regulation. They think regulation is a good thing.
Right.
And I'm sorry, there's no such thing as a good regulation. It just, it's hard. Oh, but you have to have it because, no, you don't. And I think the early Bitcoiners, it showed that, yeah, you had to be careful. There was a Wild West. I lost a bundle on 3 or 4 exchanges. So
You weren't
at
on
least
Mount
4 or
Gox,
5.
though.
Huh?
You were in the Mount Gox thing, were you?
I was not in the Mount Gox. I'd have been hurt bad if I
I
was
was on
in that.
Cripsy.
I was in Cripsy.
Yeah.
I got the Bitfinex. In one exchange that I still trade on that I really like, and I, it was kind of a mutual fault security thing, so I don't even mention their name because they're a very honorable exchange. But yeah, they made it up to me too. I mean, in a way that they came up with a really good plan.
The Bitfinex coin, the Bitfinex token, did they pay you back?
But
on that?
yeah, they came through too. I didn't wait to get paid back fully. I think I took a small haircut there, and then I traded this mining thing called Script CC. I made like 120 Bitcoin on it,
That's pretty good. That's very good.
and
Wow.
took it all off, and then put back 100. Can you believe it? Can you imagine that?
Wow.
It's a lot of money nowadays,
Yeah,
guys. So, and things have just changed. It's a different ball game. It just is, and so you have to act accordingly, and that's hard because I'm sitting here. I want to swing those big numbers, but you don't need to. You can still take $5,000 or $10,000 and run it into a small fortune. It takes it takes time, it takes discipline, and you're not going to do it right away. And it can be very frustrating because this whole year has been a very frustrating year for me. Not that I'm doing badly, I'm not. I mean, but my trading has not done well. So you want to have these people that they say, well, I just want to be a full-time trader. I'm not sure that that's really a dream that you want to realize because to get that consistency is rough. And I've been a winner every year since 2013, but it'll be a miracle if I come out ahead this year. So, and I just,
Well, for what it's
I
worth,
really-
for what it's worth, Plan B says that this month is ending at 63,000, which is right there right now, and that next month he says 89,000, and the month of December he said ends with 139,000. So he's been pretty accurate since June, actually, with the end of month closure price. So if he's right about these next two, then might be a decent heads up. Expect where it's going to go. 140,000 by the end of the year is what he claims. He says his math is very simple, but I don't get it. I don't understand how he's figuring the math out. But he seems to be on target, at least he has been for the past summer.
Yeah, and I guess he's experimenting or doing arbitrage with bots,
bots,
which
yeah.
I don't understand. That's beyond me, and maybe I'm sure that people do it very successfully.
Yeah.
But I've heard some real horror stories about him too.
Yeah, he says he has good code writers, and he knows nothing about the code himself, but he's hired good people. Is what he says, and he says he's arbitraging the European exchanges. I think that's what he said. I have to go back and listen to that, but I think he said the European exchanges had a -5. It's a delta, right? Would that be the delta, right? Yeah. And which European exchanges are there?
Compared with what other exchanges? What do you mean? You don't know? Well, I don't know how many exchanges there are in Europe. I mean, I really don't.
BTCE is no longer.
Huh?
The BTCE is gone.
Yeah, that was Russian though. I don't think that was not
That was
really
like,
European.
Yeah.
And I
Romanian.
tried to trade there, and unfortunately they got shut down before I was able to. So, and I noticed BitMEX volume, since they have persecuted Arthur Hayes and the Bitcoin 4. Its volume is not what it used to be, and there's competitors that are reaching in there. I know Deribit, they have the old rate that I liked with BitMEX. I think 0.075 and 0.25. So it was a 3-to-1 ratio. Now, BitMEX actually lowered their commission rate. So it's if you're to 0.05, but the maker's 0.1. So instead of a 33% payoff, you're getting about a 20% payoff compared to when you use your market orders. So, but what you're saving, if you're doing any numbers, what you're saving, unless when you do market orders, it makes it more attractive to do those market orders.
But buying and selling. I mean,
they had 0.075 and where you'd pay and 0.25. And that's what Bybit has kept. They still offer that, and so that makes they're on that same format, whereas Bitcoin is not that way.
Yeah.
So.
On Bybit, if you market order your way in, you pay a little chunk in the beginning, and then on your market, if you market sell your way out, I guess it's the same percentage. I'm not sure because then your
0.075.
Yeah, then the P&L vanishes and you can't see what you got. But yeah, the limit orders are either free or they pay you a little bit. Market makers.
Well, they pay you 0.025. It's a 3-to-1 ratio. You get if you're a taker, you're paying 3 times what you get paid if you're a maker.
Right.
And whereas on BitMEX, they've lowered the rate by 75 by 50%. So I mean, actually, I think BitMEX is still probably better off. And so we'll see what's going to happen. So I'm finally getting set up in my Enix account. I was able to wire funds today. I don't know, they haven't received, or yesterday, and they haven't received them yet, so it'll probably take 2 or 3 days. And if for a domestic wire, that's kind of disappointing. And they charge me to receive the bank wire, and I have to pay to send it, so I'm not,
you get 2 charges.
Yeah, charged both ways.
That
So that sucks. Wells Fargo charged me 30, and I think they charged me 15. So, and then I've got a limit. I've got to talk to them because I need them to take off the limits so I can send more. Because the more I can send, right now I'm limited to 25,000 wire and 75,000 a month. I said that's not going to do it. So I need to do hopefully. But I have to be real careful because I've had so many bank accounts shut down, and I do need a domestic account. I think the banks are getting more comfortable with it. There was that announcement by, I don't forgot who it was with the Fed. I published it.
Powell?
It wasn't Powell. It was some lady, but how they're going to have the banks now are going to be.
Janet Yellen.
It wasn't Yellen. It was some other gal, but.
Banks holding Bitcoin, holding crypto.
Yeah, banks can hold crypto and use it as collateral. So, I get it. I mean, but is that really the wise thing to do? And I've got my fingers crossed. I really.
It makes you wonder how fractional reserve can work with Bitcoin.
Well, I don't have the problem with the fractional reserve. I really don't. I think that will work fine. I just have the problem that you're under their rules, and you no longer it's confiscatable. I mean, the whole thing is the whole reason that you have Bitcoin is that. So, one of the things I teach guys, you keep your HODL and you only have a small percentage of that on the exchanges. So that's rule number one, and. All right, so. Well, that's it. You got anything else you want to cover? I just thought I'd cover the gold trade since I got blown out, and hopefully I'll be, I'm going to see. I got to figure out if I can do a limited edition on this book or not. I have it all on Word, so and I don't really want to put it on a PDF file.
The Word will be editable if you don't. The uneditable PDF file or an uneditable doc file, either way. But you have to turn off editing.
Yeah, I'll have to turn off editing, and I'm thinking, and I got to go see if I want to do it through Amazon. And I don't know what the restrictions are there. If I lose control of it, I may not do it through Amazon. Maybe there's a way I could actually do serial numbers on, and make some collector's editions for the members or something. So, with a special rate, but, and I don't know if I should share it for free or if I should, I need to start generating an income. I haven't had an income this year. And the goat lady, I told her that I'm going to get the whip after her. That's why I say I got to work with her because she has all these assets, but she needs to make them productive now. So. It's not just a matter of having things, guys. You have to keep everything going. So, and you want to keep that overhead down. So, anyway, that's it. So, how are you doing down here in Mexico? You want to tell that
story? So far, so good. I'm busy working on some masks for Eunice's daughter and her husband. And they gave me a bunch of different designs to create for them.
What do they call those?
Well, these are masks of anime characters that are from well-known productions. I think Naruto is the show. I don't know anything about these shows and the characters.
All right, but this is something you can do in Mexico, but not a lot of other plaades in the world. So we shouldn't be talking about it, I guess, because
probably not. Because it's questionable. Yeah,
because they just like I say the Disney products don't seem to be. They don't sell real original Disney products here, but you can certainly get Disney products.
Right.
So they kind of like they have all the bootleg music down here and all that. It's not very good quality, but
it can be. Yeah, it depends.
So, anyway, I mean, we're getting along, and sorry we don't have our technical advisor. Eddie's home for the weekend, so we decided to do this show on our own. So I just hopefully did we share that screen?
But we did get that screen there. I'm pretty sure we did.
All right. So we'll have to see what we did right and what we did wrong. But we got two old fogies here that don't know what they're doing.
And the buttons are just they're labeled.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if it's the right button or not.
Yeah. So anyway, and I'm off tomorrow. I'm going to spend time with my other family in tomorrow with my daughter wants to spend Halloween in San Diego, so I promised her we would go.
Is the trick or treating scene up there
Yeah.
pretty intense? With the
Yeah,
neighborhood?
well, they're kind of super. They're not. When I was a kid, we just went out in the neighborhood. But I was a mean kid. I had firecrackers. I put firecrackers in other kids' bags and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I would soap the windows, and
Yeah,
I was not. Halloween was my time to go out and be
be a nasty kid, do
yeah,
nasty
be,
things.
be
Yeah.
what a
Your dad had
a
those
hooligan.
stories. Dad had those stories about toilet papering people's cars and
Yeah.
soaping the windows.
Put an M80 in a pumpkin. You ever seen that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I'll have to do. Well, we just made a jack-o'-lantern today. We'll have to.
Yeah,
I'll have
blow
to
it
go
up.
we'll have to go blow it up.
Can you get those down here too?
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So they definitely like American men. So, all right. So, at any rate, have a good weekend, guys, and thanks for tuning in. We will talk to you later.
Yep.
And